Good afternoon and welcome to this presentation about Italy and the Italian language. Thank you for taking your time to come and thank you for your interest in Italy and the Italian language, which is my country and my language. So language and culture, of course, cannot be separated. The language reflects the culture. So today we will go through a few aspects of Italian cultures that may be interesting for you and maybe the reason why you want to study Italian or you are interested in the Italian language. So as you can see in the first slide, here are some topics that may arouse your interest in Italy, and I'm sure you already know most of them. And we will go through the fields in which Italy is leader, and they may be already known for you, but maybe some are not so well known. So to start with, I wanted to show you that you already know some Italian, okay? So some words in Italian probably is already part of your vocabulary. So here we will go through the fields. First I want to show you some Italian words that I'm sure you already know. These are mainly related to food or music or arts. So like pizza, pasta, spaghetti, lasagne, tortellini, mozzarella, all this food I'm sure you already know. And some words like bella, bravo, amore, ciao, also probably is already part of your vocabulary. Another field is the music, so probably you already know also words like piano, adagio, forte. So these are words related to fields in which Italy is the leader. But you also may recognize many of other words that are present in Italian. For example, aeroporto or attenzione, comunicazione, situazione, immigrazione, stazione. So all these words ending in zione, they have the same correspondent in English, ending in "-tion". So attention, communication, situation, immigration. So you already know that these groups of words in English have the same correspondent in Italian because, of course, these are taken from Latin in English. Other words you're already probably able to recognize are words like ospedale or farmacia, professore, and words like this. So you have already some Italian in your vocabulary for sure. Let's see now some expressions that are the high frequency in Italian. And you probably have already heard and used maybe yourself. So buongiorno, buongiorno is good morning, or ciao, which is the same but informal. Arrivederci, goodbye, or ciao again if it's informal. Grazie, prego, thank you. Per favore, a magic word that opens many doors, so please. So you can just ask what you want and add please in a bar or in a shop. So you can say un cappuccino per favore or un caffè per favore, okay? This is to introduce yourself. Mi chiamo Beatrice. My name is Beatrice. Come ti chiami? And of course, non parlo italiano, sono di Hong Kong. I don't speak Italian, I'm from Hong Kong. And parli inglese, parli cinese, speak English, speak Chinese. Vorrei, again, is if you want to ask for something in a polite way. So I would like, vorrei un caffè, vorrei un cappuccino. Quanto costa? How much is it? And a few words that you may want to use to express your feeling, your admiration. Maybe you're in Italy in front of a beautiful masterpiece or a monument, and you can say bello or bellissimo, which is very, very beautiful, or fantastico. You may know the meaning. Okay, so these are a few expressions you may want to use if you go there for the first time. So now we go through the fields in which Italy is leader. And of course, the arts, music, opera was invented in Italy, the fashion. We have many university and fashion schools in Polimoda, or also Istituto Europeo del Design, food, and so in this field, sure is the language you want to use. First is food and wine, then we look at fashion briefly, tourism, music and opera, arts, the visual arts, design, maybe less known, and for sure the last one, technology, is even less known, but I would like to talk about this briefly as well. Other fields in which Italian is helpful is the science, botanical and medical fields. Of course, all the vocabulary comes from Latin, so it will be the same in Italian. As you may know, English, in the English vocabulary, 66% of the words come from Latin. So if you learn Italian, this would be also useful for improving your English, because you will understand better the language. Many times in English, you would find two words that are similar, like synonyms, and the one from Latin origin is of a higher register, while the one from Anglo-Saxon origin is of for a lower register. So, for example, you have the word lucky and fortunate. So lucky is from Anglo-Saxon origin, and fortunate comes from Latin. And in Italian, fortunate is fortunato, so it's written almost the same. Or to get in and to enter. So enter, it comes from Latin, entrare in Italian, okay? So it may be another fact, interesting fact to learn Italian, to improve your English. So we start with the food, which is probably the field that you may know better, and for which Italian probably is known abroad, everywhere in the world. We'll go through an Italian menu, which is made in sections. So the first section is the antipasti. Anti means before, and pasto is meal. So the antipasto is a starter or appetizer. And this usually is a small portion, not very big, not very large, and cold. Okay, it's either prepared before or no need to cook. For example, formaggi misti. So this is mixed cheeses. Or affettati misti. This is mixed cold cuts. Or verdure alla griglia, so grilled vegetables. Usually is eggplants, bell peppers, and zucchini, but could be also other kind of vegetables. And of course the bruschetta. And here we have pronouncing problems. We'll see this later. So bruschetta is the right pronunciation, not bruschetta, as we can often hear. After the antipasto, we have the primo, which usually is pasta. You can also find some in the primi section rice or soup, but these are less likely to be eaten, maybe in winter more. So in Italy we have about 300 kinds of pasta, and because there is a big variety of pastas, a big difference in each region. So everywhere in Italy you go, from north to south, you will find different kinds of pasta with different names and also different sauces. So that's the reason why we have so many. Long pasta, short pasta, stuffed pasta, and so on. One that you know for sure is the lasagne, okay, everywhere. Pizza is actually not part of the primi, is just eaten as a meal. But when we eat pizza, so we don't eat anything else, but we eat one pizza each. So the pizza, everyone orders his own, and we don't share. It doesn't come cut in slices, and each one eats one pizza, one pizza per one person, okay? After the primo, we have the secondo, which is the main course. And it's either carne, meat, or pesce, fish. Together with the secondo, there is the contorno, which is a side dish, and it is vegetables. Could be raw or cooked. Verdure, vegetables. The dolce is the dessert. You probably know the tiramisu and gelato. And to finish the meal, of course, caffè. We call this caffè and not espresso, okay? For us, caffè is espresso. To drink, to accompany the meal, we only drink water or wine, acqua or vino, vino bianco or vino rosso. We don't drink any other drinks like soft drinks or beer or tea or coffee during the meal. Beer is possible to have beer usually accompanying pizza. So pizza beer is a good match. Okay, for seeing better a few of these habits, I have a short video. Then we can watch together.
Ah, mamma mia. Italy is probably the most admired and slagged country at the same time. People love Italians and Italian culture, and they are secretly jealous of us. But they also make fun of us a lot. Italians are world famous for being loud, being very kissy and passionate, and moving their hands a lot. For driving like crazy and for not respecting rules, including the law sometimes. However, there is a specific set of rules Italians will always obey to. These are the 20 rules Italians will never break. Let's start with greetings, because these are very, very important in Italian culture. Ciao bella. We're very affectionate, we're very passionate, and we tend to...
So
we've never met. Two
we
kisses in some region of Italy.
So we kiss 2 times, starting from the right side. But this is only with friends, close friends or relatives. We don't kiss people we don't know, like in France. Okay, let's talk coffee now.
Or Americano. Italians have espresso, literally drunk within 30 seconds. Done, and I'm out. It can be a corto or ristretto, which is basically like even shorter than an espresso, so up to here, or a lungo, which is basically like a little...
So the quantity of coffee is the same. It's just the water that's different. So ristretto is less water, so it's very strong. And lungo is not really double, it's the same coffee, but with more water, so a little less strong.
A bit longer. If you're asking for a latte in an Italian cafe, you will get this, because latte in Italian means milk. Cappuccino is socially acceptable only at breakfast. It is, however, acceptable to ask for a macchiato. A macchiato is actually an espresso with a little bit of milk foam, and you can ask for a macchiato caldo, which is hot milk foam, or a macchiato freddo, which is a cold milk foam. Very complicated. When toasting, always look at people in the eye.
It means trust, that you trust the other person.
Eye contact. It's really important. And good Italian wine is very important too. Let's talk fashion for a second. The number one rule that you should probably never forget if you visit Italy is do not, under any circumstance, wear white socks.
Okay, this is with open shoes, okay? So if you wear open shoes or sandals, no socks, because open shoes are meant to have the feet breathe, so there's no point in putting the socks. If you want to put the socks, you can use closed shoes. Of course, white socks and socks are perfectly fine with closed shoes and sneakers and everything, okay? So just with sandals, no.
Italians believe in the concept of food separation. We don't place it all in one plate, which is why buffets don't really work in Italy. So you always start with antipasto, which is basically the appetizer. Then you move on to a primo, which is your entree if you want. Then you move on to a secondo, which literally means second, and that's like your main dish really. Then you move on to dolce, which literally means dessert. And that's how you proceed, not the other way around. You can skip one if you want, but you need to follow the sequence. Different meats should not be mixing in the stomach. If you start with chicken, you cannot go to beef. If you start with beef, you cannot go to lamb. Breaking news, bread is not an appetizer. It will be there for the entire duration of the meal, and you will not get butter or olive oil or balsamic with it. Plain, amazing, lovely Italian bread on your table. So please enjoy as it is.
So yeah, this is true. Also in the Italian restaurants here in Hong Kong, you see the plate for your bread and oil. But we don't eat bread like this. So the bread accompanies the whole meal. Usually we start after the pasta, so with the second course, and you eat bread along the meal little by little. We don't put oil or anything before the meal. It's not an appetizer. The appetizer that we saw before is bruschetta, but that is different. Okay, I think the Americans started this tradition because when you sit in a table in Italy and you wait for your meal, on the table already you have the basket with the bread and you have oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper. So what do? You eat that together, but it's not something that we do. So it's not Italian.
So once I went to a restaurant with an American friend, now let's talk. Do not eat spaghetti with. But
spaghetti with meatballs is not Italian, it's America.
It does not contain any. You have to add salt
Pizza.
to boiling water, like this thing, salt, and don't forget meat.
Spaghetti al dente should be a little hard, not soft.
Do not mess with Italian pizza. Do not expect chicken on pizza or crazy sausages or crazy pineapples or fruit. You're not gonna be finding it there. There are only two types of pizza crust. Napolitan means that it's kind of raised and it's more fluffy, while Roman is quite crusty. Italian salad is extremely simple. It will be only served with extra virgin olive oil, vinegar, balsamic. Salad is supposed to be healthy and
simple. So, and it also a side dish. It's not an started salad in Italian. Okay. Yes. Second field we look at is fashion. So Italy is the largest market for luxury goods in Europe, and you probably have seen these brands. This is a shop in TST. Actually, it's not there anymore, but most of the names here are Italian. So you can see Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Fendi, Ferragamo, Gucci, Missoni, Moschino, Prada, Tod's for the shoes, Trussardi, Valentino, Versace, and then the jewels, Bulgari, Buccellati, Pomellato, Panerai, and also eyewear. So here we have the occasion to see how to pronounce the names in Italian. Okay, it's pronunciation in Italian is not difficult. We have only a few words. Few rules and a few words that may be tricky, but we write everything that we say and we say everything that is written. So it's not difficult to read and write in Italian. I'll show you a few rules for the pronunciation of Italian. It's the same guy here.
Hello and welcome back to Marco in a Box.
Correctly, bruschetta.
Okay, so this is how people usually pronounce this word, bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
Pistachio.
Pistacchio.
Gelato.
Gelato.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Latte.
Latte.
Biscotti.
Biscotti.
Ciabatta.
Ciabatta. So here you will see a pattern of double T's that are not actually pronounced, or in American English they turn into a D for some weird reason, and that's not the case. Like double T is double T, T. So you should pronounce T. Ciabatta. Ciabatta.
It's so much fun in our house, it really is.
Spaghetti. T. It's quite easy. I don't understand where
Spaghetti.
the D.
Spaghetti.
Where does the D come
Spaghetti.
from? There's no
Spaghetti.
T. T.
So the double consonant sounds, any double consonant sound has to be pronounced longer and stronger. And we can hear when the sound is double. So it's quite clear when you say spaghetti instead of spaghetti. Okay, it's quite strong, the double consonant sound.
Try it.
Spaghetti.
Another very common mistake is the final E.
Versace.
Versace.
Grazie.
Grazie. Grazie. Grazie.
A lot of people say grazie.
Gracias is Spanish.
Salami.
Salame.
Linguini.
Linguine. Linguine. There's an E.
Minestrone.
Minestrone. E.
Minestrone.
Bravo.
Bolognese.
So the two things that are so wrong with this word is Bolognese. So GN is ñ, and the final E is pronounced E. Bolognese, which means from Bologna.
Ñ.
Ñ.
Ñ. Bolognese.
Z.
Bolognese.
Actually, the bolognese, the sauce for the pasta, we don't call it bolognese. We call it ragu, okay, which is the same. Bolognese means from Bologna, which is, of course, the origin of this sauce.
Bolognese. Bolognese. Mascarpone.
Mascarpone.
Mascarpone. Mascarpone. Mascarpone.
Mascarpone.
Mascarpone.
Okay.
Mascarpone.
Final E, please pronounce it.
E.
It's an E.
E.
It's like
Espresso.
Grazie.
Most Americans would pronounce that espresso with an X.
Yes.
And again, there's no X in there. It's espresso.
But it's express.
No, it's espresso.
So the X is not a letter in our alphabet. X, Y, W, J, and K
You stress the syllable to roll your R.
is not part of the
Okay.
Italian alphabet.
Ferrari.
Okay,
So,
where is it? Here. Espresso.
Parmigiano.
Parmigiano. G followed by an I is G. Parmigiano. You don't actually stress the syllable. Syllable?
Syllable.
Syllable?
Yes. Parmigiano. Parmigiano.
Okay.
Ferrari.
Rrr.
And again, this is about like double consonant in Italian. It has to be pronounced. There's a double R in there. And you have to roll your R even more.
Ferrari.
Not Ferrari.
Margarita.
It's Margherita.
Margarita.
G.
Margherita.
So GH is G.
G.
The same way CH is K. There are very few rules in Italian pronunciations. And you guys get them all wrong.
Tortellini.
Tortellini. Lini. L. Double L. Tortellini.
It's a lot of work. Tortellini. Tortellini.
Close enough. You don't have to move your hands. Tortellini.
Ravioli.
You guys put the accent on the wrong vowel. It's not ravioli, it's ravioli. It's on the O. Ravioli.
Ravioli.
No!
ravioli.
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 It's an open O. Ravioli. So it's very simple. Like French has something like 20 plus vowels, like sound vowels. Italian only has 7 phonetic vowels. A, E, I, O, U. That's it. O and E are either open or closed. O, E,
Ravioli. It's perfect.
Ready to eat them.
Yeah.
Ravioli.
Just remember. That's the rule
Ravioli.
to remember.
Oh, this one is fun.
Tagliatelle.
GL is Y.
Ye.
So it's
Ye.
pronounced Y.
No gl.
Taglia. And then there's a double L, tagliatelle, and there's a final E. So
Okay.
tagliatelle.
So it's basically
Open A.
wrong from start to finish. Tagliatelle.
Yeah.
So bad. It's kind of easy once you know the GL kind of.
So
sound.
I think Italian is actually one of the few languages in the world where you actually pronounce exactly everything that's written. So unlike French, unlike Spanish, unlike English, you just need to learn a few pronunciation rules and you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Lasagna.
Yeah, actually, we don't even have in Italian a verb like spelling. We don't know how to say to spell. It doesn't exist, the verb to spell. We have a sentence where you can use like, how do you write it? Because it's quite clear. It's very, they're very close. The spoken language and the written language is very close. There's no difference. So the Italian kids in school, they don't have spelling classes. Lucky them. Huh? Okay, next one is tourism, another big field. So you may have already been in Italy, you're planning a trip to Italy, so of course you know many places that are worth visiting. First, here you may recognize is Florence, my hometown, Tuscany, Rome, Venice, Venezia, Capri, and Milano. Okay. Italy has so many beautiful places, also different. So you can visit a city. We have mountains, a sea, countryside, So, and Italy is the first country with the most heritage sites. I think now there are reached 58 heritage sites. So here you have an example of what you can see. So it says, we are more richer than we think and share the Italian pride. Okay, so it's just, the question is where to start from. No, again. Okay, another field in which Italian is very important is music and opera. Opera was invented in Italy, in Florence. This is the Arena di Verona, is an open theater, very old, in which they have an opera festival every summer when the weather is nice. This is another very famous opera house, La Scala di Milano, in Milan. Many composers made musical history, Giuseppe Verdi and his opera like La Traviata and l'Aida. Here you have a singer, Pavarotti, and probably you also know a contemporary singer, which is Andrea Bocelli. Other composers are Rossini, Bellini, Donizetti, and Puccini, and from the last one you may have watched Tosca, Turandot, Bohème, and Madama Butterfly. So these are very, very famous operas. They're still showed in everywhere in the world, around the world. For the arts, we have architecture, sculpture, and paintings. Architecture, of course, you have old architectures everywhere in Italy, but also modern architectures. So we have architects like Renzo Piano, who's still operating everywhere in the world. This is one of his projects in London, and this is the airport in Osaka. So contemporary architecture and old architecture is also very important. Paintings, of course, is the tradition for especially Renaissance paintings are so beautiful. This you would find this in Florence in the Uffizi Gallery, La Venere by Botticelli, and sculpture. Here you have Michelangelo with La Pietà, which is in St. Peter's in Rome. And Michelangelo, of course, also painted the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican Museum. Design maybe is less known, but we have still a good tradition of design, modern design. Cartel is a famous chair, lamps. So as a field in which Italy is leader too. And technology, maybe this is less known, of course not the cars. So no need to write the names of these cars. Actually, Italian police has 2 Lamborghini at their service, so you may see them around. Vespa, Maserati, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Vespa. In many movies, also within the brand is Vespa by Piaggio. And technology. So in these fields also, Italy is leader. 4th in Europe, 8th in the world. And this video, which is the last, was made for an economic forum by the Minister of Economy, Italian Minister of Economy. So you will see first what is the commonplace that in the world they think about Italians, and there is some truth in them, so that like Italians are gesticulators, Italians are lazy, Italians just watch footballs, and then the other aspect of Italy. This is the Arena di Verona that we saw before, the opera. Yeah. Okay, so we saw this the list of fields in which Italian is used, but actually, if you're not interested in any of these fields, still Italiano è bello. It's a beautiful language. Its musicality is acknowledged by everybody in the past and in the present. And it's given by the alternating sounds, the vowels. So in Italian, words always end with vowel. And also the accent is not fixed, it's movable. So we have accent on the last syllable, the one before the last, and the third before the last. So this gives the language a harmony and musicality that is difficult to find in other languages. And many students just study Italian because they're interested in the culture and because it's beautiful. Also, you may want to have a few more words to say if you go to Italy of a monument, this is a Trevi Fountain, you want to say something in Italian like magnifico or molto bello. Hong Kong U Space offers, of course, Italian languages classes. You can learn not just the language and the grammar, you can learn some aspects of the Italian culture, also the pronunciation, and many more. So if you want to check the information on the website, you will find all the information. Finnish, I wanted to play with you a little, so I have created this short quiz about Italy. So you're welcome to participate. You can log in using the QR code, or you can go to kahoot.it and insert the PIN number. So you can go www.kahoot.it and put the PIN number, or you can scan the QR code and play. Then on the screen of your mobiles or your computer, you will see the colors corresponding to the answers to the question. So you just push the colors and you're answering the questions. I see there is a football lover here. Or you can just play without phone, just trying to guess the answers. Okay, ready to go? Okay, let's start. Easy one. Okay, now Mercedes is German and Fiat is Italian. It means Fabbrica Italiana Automobili Torino, so the Italian factory of automobile in Turin. It recently also bought Chrysler. Yes, Italy, when it was founded, was made of 20 regions and 100 towns. Green, white, red. Green, white, blue is France, yes. Monarchy or republic? It's a republic. We had a popular referendum in June 2nd, 1946, and people was called to decide between monarchy and the republic won. So Italy is a republic, and we celebrate National Day on June 2nd. Ponte Vecchio is the old bridge. Firenze. Yes, correct. Spain, because there's France in between. Okay, we saw this before in the video about pronunciation. Salame, okay. Pepperoni is American. Peperone in Italian is bell pepper. If you read Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. Verona, yes. See? Right, correct. Yeah, correct. I told you in Italian, words always end with a vowel. Quartier is French. It's not easy because a long time ago. Lira, Marco in Germany, Franco in France, and Peso in Spain. Giusto, Naples, Napoli. Vesuvio. The wine, Prosecco. Veneto, yes. Okay, last question. La Scala, the opera theater. Milano. Very well done. So number 3, Pirlo. Brian, second. And the winner is Chris. Congratulations, Chris. Okay. Well done. And to finish, I just have the greetings to say goodbye. So we can say thank you, grazie, final E, grazie, arrivederci, goodbye, ciao, and see you soon, a presto. So thank you very much, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask in the chat room. I'll be here for a while. Happy to answer your question. Thank you very much.
Personally, I love football, and I know that Italy has a rich history of football because I watch a lot of football matches like the Serie A. And there are many clubs that actually teach me about the geography of Italy, like Roma, Napoli, and like Milan, the two clubs there
Of course.
too.
Yes, yes. Also, football is, especially for young men like you. Yes, of course, football is followed by many people in the world abroad, and the clubs are most famous. Juventus from Turin and Milan. I think they're the most known abroad. Also, they're football players. So it is another field in which Italian is known abroad. Yes, thank you.
I think another question that many people may be interested in is that maybe Americans in specifically, but like many people from other countries, they actually adopt some culture from Italy, but they actually change it, like pizza, and then they put pineapple on it, or like there are other ways to like eat pasta or with meatballs and stuff. So actually, how do Italians see these practices?
They're not happy, but they're very conservative about their food and food traditions. But this happens with all the countries in the world. So the Chinese restaurants in Italy, of course, are not Chinese. They adapt the taste and they put something that Italians like, and it's like this everywhere. But so, of course, we try to avoid those places.
It's quite surprised that in Italian latte is equal to milk, because in Hong Kong that means milk and coffee. Do you have any? Have you go to the coffee shop and order latte in the beginning, and you expect is you predict it's milk but come with a coffee, something like that kind of experience?
Yes, it's quite weird to ask for a latte and to get something that's very similar to a cappuccino. But yeah, in Italy, if you ask for a latte, you'll get a glass of milk.
Do you have
hot or cold, but a milk? Yes. So kids maybe ask for a latte.
What do you think about the cultural difference between Italy and Hong Kong in your experience?
There are many differences, but I think we are all part of this world, and I think we want to live together and try to learn from each other. So it is very interesting and beautiful that we can exchange our experiences and our cultures and learn from each other. So like all the other countries. I find living in Hong Kong is very interesting, and I love this place, and there's nothing that I miss from Italy apart maybe the food.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there's no other questions, again, thank you very much for participating and for being with us today. And I hope I see you soon. Alla prossima. Ciao.